Hi there.
Hi, welcome to Curious Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
Today we're going to talk about our annual sales, and we're going to talk about promoted listings and just more or less financial stuff. So, welcome to the show. To begin with, we told you guys about 6 months ago when we started our channel that our goal for the year was $100,000 in sales.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for us, that's a big aggressive goal. Last year we did right around 78,000. So that would be a nice increase.
Yeah.
Today is December 22nd, 2023. We are at $102,925.
Yes.
So we not only beat it,
smashed
but we're smashing that goal. We still have another week left of the year, and we definitely met our goal.
Yes.
So
we're very excited about that.
I want to talk about, what does that actually mean? What does $100,000 eBay store mean for us? Because again, it's going to be different for every business depending on what you're selling. If you're doing retail arbitrage and you're buying things from your local department store and then flipping them on eBay, your margin might be relatively low.
Yeah.
If you're buying things, say maybe you're not even buying it. Maybe you're just doing cleanouts and that's where your eBay inventory is coming from. So your input cost is merely your time, no cost out of pocket. It might be higher. It might be 60, 70%. For us, after eBay fees, after cost of goods, after promoted listings, after shipping, that works down to be about 45, 50%. So our realistic income for that 100,000, 102,000 is going to be somewhere around between $45,000 and $50,000. So, and that can be really,
just be aware. That is the both of us working full time.
Right.
For
so,
the last year.
Literally, if you broke that out for the year, take that in half, that's $25,000 per person income. You would literally, in our community, minimum wage is $12 an hour, I think. So we're making minimum wage. The difference is I don't have to go work at McDonald's and I don't have to have a boss. We get to work from home. We get to spend all of our time together.
Which is nice.
Our hard days are when we have to go and walk around a flea market and interact with the vendors and or buy things at the local auction house. So it's a totally different mindset. And it kind of drives, our lifestyle as well. Because again, you're not, you might think, well, I made 6 figures this year. No, you didn't.
No,
you didn't. We live very low.
We do.
To
and,
earth.
we worked really hard before we ever started this business, to get to zero debt. So we have no credit cards, we have no car payments, we've already paid off our mortgage. Like we have no debt. So that's really the only way that we can do this is to live a very small lifestyle.
Knowing that, being open about that, I want people to be very clear that unless you're doing something completely different than what we're doing, you're going to either need that hustle culture mentality or you need to be selling things that are just incredibly high margin.
And I don't know how to do that.
And you got to be targeting, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 realistically if you want that 6-figure income.
Yeah.
That's not my goal.
That's not us, no.
But,
I'm very happy with what we're doing. I love playing with this costume jewelry. I love doing the research and, and getting those amazing finds. And I do. I really, really love what we do. But we wouldn't be able to do this if our expectation was a new car in the driveway.
Yeah, no. We don't have a Lambo. We don't even have the Taurus, the new Taurus.
We don't even have anything I think my car's like a 2010, and yours is even older than that. So
yes, 06.
Yeah, but it's a good lifestyle for us.
So with that said, yesterday we kind of touched on promoted listings, and again, this is a raw nerve for a lot of sellers that for years as sellers we didn't have to promote. when we first started selling full time, we didn't have to promote our listings. eBay would just represent your item. 100% was being driven off from people's keyword searches, essentially, and you'd get the sales. You would get a sale based on your keyword search.
Right. So that was just part of eBay's fees,
right.
basically.
Right. So now, the market has slumped. Anyone who's been in this marketplace selling for more than 2 years recognizes that we had a massive spike in 2020, 2021 with, different types of governmental interaction with people's lifestyles. So eBay at the same time started introducing the promoted listings. They saw the money coming in and they said, well, we want a cut of that and we want to stop spending our own money on advertising. So we tried promoted listings. We found initially that we were getting about a 30% bump in sales back in 2021. And then I decided, I really don't like paying all this extra money. So June 2022, I stopped promoting for the entire month of June. My sales dropped dramatically. We lost half of our sales. And so that told me that it's working.
The promoting part.
Promoting the listings is working. Let's look at the finances of it. Let's make sure that we're buying things with the cost in mind that we are going to have to promote. And that's where we came up with our 25% rule. Now, if you're new to our channel, we allocate, when we purchase an item, 25% is allocated towards eBay fees. If you think about it, eBay is charging you 15% just as a transaction fee, just as a listing fee. So final value fee. There's so many fees, you can't even keep track. When you add it all up, for us, we're promoting standard at 7% plus the total value fee, your listing fees. It really does work out to be between 22 and 25% on every item that we sell. So just to go into this, first of all, if you can't afford to give up 25%, you might not be able to sell your item on eBay. We've bought things thinking that we were going to sell them, say, $100, and come to find out it's only a $70 item and our margin's gone. Mm-hmm. The input cost is just too much. So, what does that actually look for us currently in 2023 at the end of the year here? Promoted listings. I'm looking on our marketing page under the name of the tab here is advertising dashboard. For other people, if you're curious about what you're doing or where you compare to us, you can go to this page. You can look at your numbers. So we're promoting standard 7% universally across our store. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. They're going to tell you, yes, I promote. No, I don't promote. But they're not going to tell you where they're at because they're afraid other people are going to move in. They're going to hit them at 10%, 15%, whatever. There's not a single category that we sell in that eBay is suggesting lower than 9%.
Goodness, no. So, oftentimes, I'll be doing my listings or whatever, and they're like, oh, you should promote this at 15%.
Right. We're not doing that. We don't have 30% to give up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Again, like I said in the intro, out of our 100,000, we're going to be happy if we can get 45 to 50,000. So if eBay wants another 20%, that's all 100% coming out of our pocket.
Right.
So, and I'm not going to live on 30,000. That's not going to happen. Especially after Uncle Sam takes his cut.
Right.
So, we have in the last 31 days, 13 million impressions on our 13,000 items, 12,500 clicks. We've sold 332 promoted items for a total of $8,412 in sales. So that's up 35% over the previous month, which we would expect in Q4. Our return on advertising spend, the ROAS, that is 14.77. So, to my understanding, and please correct me in the comments if I am incorrect, but that 14.77 means that for every dollar that we spend on advertising, we are getting $14.77 in return. For us in our business, that's totally worth it. Mm-hmm. We're absolutely bought in. We love that number. So we have also tried Promoted Listings Advanced, where you're going to pay per click in the past. I did this on a one single listing because, again, different type of advertising requires a different type of approach. So our theory, our idea was that we're not going to pay per click on 12,000. Like I just said,
goodness.
We sold 300 items and it took 12,000 clicks to get that. I'm not going to pay 10 cents for 12,000 clicks so I can just make a couple $1,000s. We had one specific item. It was a cough syrup. It was in code. It was not a recalled item. It was coming out of at the end of the season. So we're going into summer. Not the best time to sell cough syrup. But, cough syrup does sell year round. It just has a season. And so we created this marketing campaign. We funded it. And we were paying what they suggested as the market value. Literally got 0 sales over the course of the 2 weeks or 4 weeks that we ran this promotion. So for us, Promoted Listings Advanced doesn't work. We're not a manufacturer. We're not an importer. We're not getting things at 10% of the value where we can have replenishable inventory. I think if you had that, if you were an importer and you're bringing the item in, I think that might actually work for you because your store inventory is going to be all replenishables. So, and you want the clicks. We just sell a bunch
of one-offs.
Right.
So
majority of our store is
us.
one-off items. So the other type of promoted listing, off-site ads. So this is something that we actually started doing. eBay at the beginning of December for some sellers has offered a $100 credit towards promoted listings off-site. So your ad will be featured in, maybe Facebook, maybe Google, who knows. We got 462 clicks, 3 sales, $128. Our return on advertising spend was 3.11. So for every dollar we spent,
we make $3.
We made $3. So if you think about it, that's on top of your normal promoted listing standard and on top of your normal eBay fees.
Yeah.
So at 30 cents,
33% of our fees are going to advertising.
So
it's just not
80% of what we're intending on making is going to end up going to eBay. The other 20%, I'm sure, was sunk into shipping, and literally
Nothing
we probably lost money on the transaction because the cost of goods. So on that, our sales conversion rate was 0.65%. This was a promotion that ran for 10 days, middle part of December. So you would imagine that would be the time that everybody in the entire country is looking for items to buy for Christmas. Our cost per click was 9 cents on average. So
they did 462 clicks at 9 cents.
Right. So our ad fees were $41.40 to generate $128 in sales. For us, that's not worth it. That is so not worth it.
No. So, we can't possibly.
Yeah.
When
I cannot advocate for that program for any seller that sells the type of stuff that we do.
No.
Again, one-offs, those advertising dollars are lost because, once that item sells, the next person in line isn't going to come and buy that same item. It's gone.
Right.
So didn't work for us, not going to work for us. I know what eBay's trying to do here. eBay's trying to get sellers to market their business for them so they don't have to. And it makes sense. Honestly, if I could get people to, do my chores for me too and pay me to do it, why wouldn't I? but that's not really our business. So we're not going to be promoting off site.
Mm-hmm.
And then eBay now has a promoted listing display ads, so you can actually pay per click in order to get your items featured on their site. Again, that's not something that's going to work for us, because everything that we sell is a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
If we had 1,000 of a quantity of a specific item, it might be worth spending $200 or $300 in clicks to generate interest and excitement around that product. For us, it's just not going to work.
No, and it is important to recognize what type of business you have and what kind of things would work for you. Just because it doesn't work for us doesn't necessarily mean that if you have a different type of business, it wouldn't work for you. So, we try to let you know the things that have helped us, but that doesn't always equate, because every eBay business is a little bit different. The things that we sell, the fact that we're two full-time people, and so we're able to kind of push each other to do the 50 listings a day or whatever our goals are. It's going to be a little bit different for every single business out there.
Right. Yeah. If just as an example, we sell a lot of items that we source out of estates and local flea markets.
Mm-hmm.
Our cost input is, like I said, our top end is 25%, 25 cents on the dollar. We've tried to buy fine jewelry, and we found that the margins just aren't there. So we avoid going heavy into gold or silver jewelry.
Right.
We buy costume jewelry.
Yeah.
It still has good margins, but our input cost is much lower. We might buy
an entire
pieces,
tray full of,
right,
of costume jewelry. And then like those pieces, typically I'm able to sell for like $15 to $20 per piece. Occasionally I get those, $100 pieces, and that's what really helps our margins to stay where we like them, or to be even better than what our goals are of that 25%, is because we do buy the way that we do, where we get entire lots. Same thing with like the photos or, his postcards. He'll buy an entire shoebox full of postcards. And for the most part, they're $3 to $5 postcards.
Right. So you can see behind me here, we've got a tray of postcards that have come in that we're going to be putting up for sale over the course of the next year. And again, most of them are going to be $3 to $5 cards. Some of them will be $20, $80, $100 cards. And we'll buy something like that for realistically $20 to $50 per tray.
Right.
So it does take time to make your money back, but then once you've cleared that hurdle or your inventory's paid for, then you just can get those sales. And on a postcard, your shipping is only 63 cents. So even if it's a $3 card, you're still making about $1.70. So maybe $1.60 depending on your promoted rate. It works for us. I wouldn't be selling them if it was just me and just my income to try to support a household. That wouldn't work.
No, and that's kind of, again, it's what we like about what we do, is that he has interest in the postcards, but again, he can get those $100 postcards and make his money back right away on the whole buy. And then everything else going forward is all profit. So that's kind of nice. And for him, they're faster lists as well. So he may only spend a minute putting up a listing, because he is so experienced in putting up postcard listings. He knows the types, the between RPPCs and linens and blah, 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 blah. So...
Right. So I just happen to notice on my screen here, I do have a promoted listing sales tab. So in the center part of my screen, it shows me now our $102,000 in sales, which is up 36% over last year. So amazing.
Yeah.
We've been working hard all year in order to make that happen. Promoted listing sales were $59,000 of that. If we were not...
58% of our sales were promoted.
Right. If you're not promoting, other people are. You're going to be losing.
Yeah.
You're going to be losing. And I'm not saying it's right. Please do
Right.
not misunderstand me. If I could keep the money that we are spending